class Purdue showed at the end, by the way, even their fans, was phenomenal. Players, of course, coaches, fans. It was a tough game. I thought we earned the win. We had an 8-point lead. I thought we had to give those freshmen credit, those subs. I think their subs went, I don't know what they were, 5, 6, or 10 from the 3. That almost KO'd us. We made some poor decisions on switching, and yet we had so many guys that gave us something. You know, Jackson didn't have a very good game, and he made that big play in the middle of the lane. I thought Cohen started out average and made a couple of big plays. You know, our freshman Jordan did not have as good a game, but he made a big rebound late. Cam Ward probably had his best game when you look at, not because he was 4 for 4, but defensively and everything. And I give him credit. There was a lot of meetings this last week and a half, and he just hung in there and did his job. And of course, Jeremy, you know, played really well. I mean, it was a matchup with 2 point guards. Braden Smith, there's a reason he's the Player of the Year candidate, and I thought we did a decent job on him, but he's a hell of a player. And they got a hell of a team. It was just our night. They made threes. We weathered the storm of all those threes. To do that on the road in Mackey Arena, I think was, I'll give my team some credit on that. So,
Tom, you obviously were talking about cutting down turnovers being a huge part of this game. You think you only, against 6, they only had 9, but 19 to 5 in points off turnovers. You know, that seemed like
yeah, that was a big thing on the second. And the other one, though, that hurt us, we got out rebounded, and they were, what were they, plus 10 on the second chance points. So we kind of reversed our roles here a little bit. But yeah, I mean, turnovers are big, and we didn't let them get out as much and running, and I thought that was big. Didn't rebound quite as good. We had different lineups in there, and they're big in there. Boy, they're strong. And you know, Kaufman Wren missed that big jump hook, and he's a hell of a player, boy. And he just we got lucky he missed it.
Tom, I'm wondering, the stretch from Kurt in the second half, how vital was that for Tom?
Yeah, you know, I didn't even bring up Kirk because he did some good things early, then he did some not so good defensively in that, and yet he bounced back and he did some really good things. He hit a couple big threes, came up with a big steal. The big steal was really important, and all in all, guys, we couldn't play much better. I mean, I did not think Kohler and Coop was pretty good, but he was the one guy that kept us in there for a while. But when Jackson Jordan didn't play as well, but they didn't play as well because it's a good team we played, a really good team.
I wanted to ask you about Cooper, particularly that first half stretch. Clough had those 4 early buckets, and it looked like you moved him over to him. Just the job he did on him, and just him and Cam in particular, what they were doing defensively.
Yeah, Coop and Cam, I thought did a great job. Coop did a great job. Even his first basket, you know, he finally threw that jump hook. And, you know, like I said, we screwed up a couple of those plays when, who was the kid, Benter? Yeah. They put him at the 4, it created some problems for us. And I think that was a bad job on my part. Really hadn't covered it, but couldn't have been well enough. So that was tough. But Cooper and Cam Ward definitely had their hands full in there, and I thought did a phenomenal job.
Tom, your team was out-rebounded for just one of the first times all season. What does that say about your team as it moves on to March, when they can win games in ways they normally don't do?
Well, I think it helps, but I wouldn't want to make a steady diet of it. You know, that's not who we are, and that's not what we are. And you know, I thought there were some balls that got locked loose that we didn't get after, but I also thought there were some that got loose that we did get after. So you saw 2 teams that played hard as hell, and I think we made some plays that were important. But that team with those guards, you know, Lawyer's a hell of a guard, and you know, you look at those 3 guys, and they've been together 4 years, and it's a privilege to play against guys that have done that and stayed in the same place, and much respect for them.
Tom, you went to Carson a lot there for a while, and can you speak to his development a little bit, that you use him as a matchup advantage to yourselves offensively, something until this year you never would have thought of?
Yeah, and he did a good job, you know, when he took his time in that post, he made a couple nice post moves. The dunk was big time, and with Coop, you know, the only negative was we had to play some of those guys so many minutes, long stretches. That's where we're hurting a little bit with the injuries we've had. You know, we're trying to do what we did last year, but strength in numbers is less numbers. And so, you know, him and Jeremy, they get tired at times, and I get frustrated with that, but I don't blame them. So that's my fault, not theirs. But we did go to him more, and we will go to him more. His jump hook looked good. The turnaround jump shot looked good. And we need that moving forward for sure.
As true road wins goes, probably best of the year. I'm just wondering if you learned anything about your team that you hadn't seen yet down the stretch there.
You know, I think it was the best in a couple of years if you really look at it. I mean, I have enormous respect for this program, this place, those players, and that coach. And I felt like today at the pregame meal, we talked about, you know, what a privilege it is to play with two teams that stand for what both of us stand for. And I brought up my first big win here was with Matina and them when they were sophomores, and they were like 5th in the country, and what it took to win that game. And I thought we gave some of that effort tonight. I did think we played with a different mentality that we haven't been playing with as much lately. So hopefully that can catapult us. Now we go home, get a quick rest, quick turnaround, and then go to Indiana. But we're not going to worry about Indiana on the flight home. When I get home, I'll worry about them. We're going to try to enjoy this because, as we all know, I'm not a statistics guy, but statistics, we haven't won here much. And so we're going to try to enjoy the game.
Tom, I guess two parts on Cam. I'm wondering what you can share about those meetings, like what sort of things were you guys trying to talk about and work out? And two, like, what do you hope or think that this game can do for him when he's finishing the game for you guys on this court after missing the free throw and just being in that environment, that experience?
I got a feeling Cam last week started working on those even harder. I think he'll work even harder. But we talked about, you know, I think he thought it was going to be easier. He had the big game early, and then all of a sudden he gets the injury. And to be very honest with you, that set him back a lot. And then when he came back, he just didn't play with the same vigor he played with before. And that's what we talked about more than anything. And I thought tonight, he got a couple of big rebounds. He had a couple of big dunks. Cam Ward's going to be a hell of a player. The process has been a little slower. He'd like a little slower than I want, but the injury, I think, had something to do with that. And then the process of just growing up and understanding that it's hard at this level. It really is. And he was great, though. I mean, we spent more than a couple nights, and it was good, really good.
Coach, you mentioned talking to Gene Keady before the game. What was that chat like, that hour and a half? What did you gain from that? And, you know, just take me through that a little bit.
You know, when I got the job, him and Jed were very good friends. And Gene, you know, Jed left, went to Spokane. And so in my own way, Gene was kind of a mentor to me, too. Bruce Weber was one of my best friends in the coaching profession. I love Bruce. He's a special guy, too. And Matt Painter, I recruited him. So our programs have mirrored each other in a lot of ways. But, you know, Coach Keady was phenomenal. We were just talking about when we started the first meetings, some of the wars, and then what his take is on kids and coaches and how it's changing. And, you know, what I decided in my pregame talk after our pregame meal was he gave me a lot because I always apologize like I'm supposed to because some people call me old or old school and all that crap. And he made me realize, you know, winning back when he started, I don't know when that was. It was somewhere AD. I didn't think it was BC, but it was a long time ago. And what he did, it hasn't changed. And that's the beauty of the man. And, you know, he's a Purdue guy now. I went and saw him after the game, and he gave me the nice game, but I know he wanted to break my neck, you know. And that, too, is what I love about him. You know, he's so loyal to this place. And I hope that coaches and players get to be loyal to their school because this guy is a treasure. He's a treasure, and I mean that.
All right, we got two more there, and then Mike.
Coach, here in the bag, you challenged Carson Cooper after the Ohio State game. You said he had a good game offensively, but maybe defensively not so much. 24 seconds left. He has a stop on Trey Kaufman-Renn. I know you seem a little bit frustrated with the hedge on the Braden Smith three with under 3 minutes to go, but outside of that singular play, what do you think overall of his defensive performance?
You're pretty damn observant. You caught all of them. You know, the hedge on the three, you know, I mean, I was mad about it, you know. I had reasons to be, but Coop was so much better defensively. I mean, they come off those screens so hard. And, I mean, I do enjoy watching his team on tape. I don't enjoy playing it, but I do watch it. And that made it hard on our guys. We couldn't simulate that in practice. And I just thought tonight, on both ends of the court, he was pretty damn good. And but that's what seniors are supposed to be at this time of year, and hats off to Coop.
You know pretty well what a team's supposed to look like when March starts. March is starting. Do you see a team that is where you want it to be on this datum calendar?
No. You know, Mike, I love my team. You know, the one thing I said to them at this pregame thing was they practice so hard every day, and I really appreciate that. But it's like studying for a test, and you study your butt off, and then you go to the test, and you don't take it very well, you know? And that's what I hope this jump starts us now, because the preparation, the communication, and then, you know, everybody says, well, you haven't won there very often. I got news for you. Who in the hell has? Who in the hell has? You know, his teams are so good and this fan base is so good that it is hard to win here. So I think we took a big step, Mike. You know, I think we took a big step. It's been a little hard adjusting without Divine. I just realized we're missing a guy yet. And, you know, when I had him, I wasn't happy with him. You know, I'm just as typical as every coach. Nobody's ever as good. I think players feel that way too, you know. They don't like the coach until they leave, and then they like the coach more. We don't like the players until they leave, and then we like the players more. You know, we're all screwed up. But I think in general, it's hurt us a little bit. But we put ourselves in a position where now we have a measuring stick to say, this is what you can do when you prepare well. This is what you can do when the walkthrough in the hotel was good. Film sessions are good. And you played with some passion, some toughness, and some togetherness. And that's what's going to move us forward. We're not as talented as some teams you've seen us have over the years, but we are, I said, for 2 years, I've been the luckiest guy in America. We're together and connected. And together and connected does a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.